Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, Afraid Not. Yes, the new schedule, Afraid Not, I know people are still sort of slowly adjusting to it. I now stream Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, so I have been doing that a bit, so, but it's fairly recent. Yes, so apologies for the late start to the stream today, but the new COVID vaccine just came out here, so I needed to go get that, but there was not a way for me to do that without making stream late, and I did not know how long it would take. So as it happens, we were very expedient, so we get to start a little early. We're only like an hour late instead of more so. Excellent, David. My arm is sore, but other than that, so far I am surviving. So today we get to do a puzzle that was much talked about, so I am not surprised to see that it has made the list. And that is Stairity by the Cogito. So if you're not aware, every stream we start with the puzzle that has obtained the most votes from those of you who support me on YouTube and Patreon. This puzzle received votes from Woofer, Nordy, Doomdiat, Afraid Not, Tallcat, Crispy, Russ, and David. So the solve is going to be dedicated to all of those fine folks. Thank you very much. Also, if you are one of the people who has voting privileges, the top number of votes is actually very crowded at the moment. So I think this 1 by 1 over a like 6-way tie or something. So if you have voting privileges, you can go in and really sort of like let your choices weigh in on what we do next stream on Sunday. And if you would like to support the stream, there are 2 ways to do that. One is by joining on Patreon, patreon.com/zetamath. And the other is by clicking the join button down below to become a YouTube member. If you become a YouTube member, you additionally get the fancy green name like Jay and Chameleon have there, as well as a little windmill next to your name to celebrate your existence as a windmill. And you get some fancy Zach emotes, which Zach really likes to see. So you can look forward to those benefits to being a YouTube member. Either way, at certain levels, you get access to voting, and at any level, you get access to the to the exclusive zetamath Discord. There is a Discord channel that is public, so if you want to join the Discord, there's a link down below where you can join the Discord, and there's a zetamath chat there. So if you want to chat, and I usually respond there, and there's been lots of activity there lately, which is great. I'm very excited to see how much chatting and sharing of puzzles and all those sorts of things there is. It has been very cool. All right, so I think that all out of the way, I think we can start looking at the Cogito's puzzle here. We are meant in this puzzle, we have to read the rules, to divide the grid into 9 regions which don't overlap. Good. And each containing the digits 1 through 9, and they have to be orthogonally connected. White squares mean one of 2 things. They either mean that the digits sum to 10 or that they're consecutive. So this is either an X or a white dot. Black dots just are black dots. They mean that there's a ratio of 1 to 2. And yes, we have grkles in the house, which I'm very excited to see grkles again. It's been a bit. And all dots n squares separate 2 distinct regions. And not all dots or squares are necessarily given. Okay, so we need to put down a betting tree. We're going to put the betting tree over here because it seems difficult for me to believe that this is here. Will there be a chaos tutorial? Maybe. I'm not sure. It's hard, I think, to talk in general about that. There aren't really a lot of easy chaos construction puzzles, but it's something I enjoy enough that I would kind of like to be able to say something about it. If you're not familiar with the betting tree tradition, by the way, we place down a tree and then everyone in chat guesses what digit the tree will contain. It might contain 3 even. Who knows? You know how much we've always wanted one of those. Hey, Memrister, welcome. I'm glad to see you here. Sorry I haven't been able to catch your stream recently. I've been teaching again, and what do you know? I've been both teaching and also playing Factorio, which is a deadly combination for my free time. And also setting this puzzle that I keep breaking and starting over. Like, I think I've probably started over like 15 times at this point on the puzzle I've been setting. All right, so we should start drawing in region boundaries. And so the thing we are told is that every one of these things represents a region boundary. So we get to just start by drawing in a bunch of region boundaries. Ooh, David's betting 9 because it's the 9th. That is a good strategy. Hey, Kajito, welcome. It's funny, I was going to do this puzzle like 2 weeks ago, but then that day the most voted on puzzle was 4s and 7s, so I did that, which was also delightful, to be clear. But then I didn't circle back to this one until now, so I'm glad that I get to do it. So this given 3 is already doing work. Because the given 3 is telling me that this black dot is not a 3-6. And so that means it's a 1, 2, 4, 8. And because this is a whole gigantic, enormous, forever going chain, these all have to be from 1, 2, 4, 8. And also I have to turn on my keypad or it will not work. That is another thing we've learned today. So we get this gigantic string of 1, 2, 4, 8 business. Let's see. I'm trying to see. So I think the key thing to start with is this cell. I mean, I don't know, but I'm going to start with this cell anyway. This cell, it's in a region of size 9. And that region could go down here, but it cannot ever escape under it because this needs to be in a different region. And so what that means is that this region, which I have dubbed the blue region, always comes up at least this far. We have lots of people in chat betting 3. Boy, are they going to be surprised when they win. Let's see, I'm just checking real quick and seeing, like, I think this could escape up over here or over here. I'm seeing, though, that I can't absorb too many 1, 2, 4, 8s. And by too many, I mean I'm saying I can't absorb more than 4 of them. But maybe I could do something like that, possibly. I'm trying to see, like, other places where I know that... I'm trying to see other places where I know this has to extend, but... without sort of, like, trying to just think too far ahead. I don't quite see that yet. And we don't have all of these things being given or anything like that. So let's see. So there are 2 white dots in this column. Is that at all interesting? It's interesting because white dots always contain 1 odd and 1 even. No, that's not true. Sorry. Because they could sum to 10. And so white dots always contain either 1 odd or 1 even, or 2 odds or 2 evens. And that is unfortunately not useful. The rules do not, in fact, actually say that digits don't repeat in rows or columns. So I think we could come up with a very nice solution to this puzzle that does not do that. But I am also assuming that, but who knows? I could be wrong. It could be that this is actually a giant 3-6 chain. I mean, I do think one of the very small number of Cogito puzzle, or one of the very small puzzles I've done where digits could repeat in rows or regions was a Cogito puzzle. So yeah, how many of these 1, 2, 4, 8s could we absorb in blue, I guess is a reasonable question. Because if I did this, that seems like that. But okay, so maybe the question, like, should I be coloring the 1, 2, 4, 8s or something like that? So an important thing to note here is that because these alternate, there's actually this parity thing that goes on with 1, 2, 4, 8s. Where if you think about it, if I put 1, 2, 4, 8 in a row here, these are just notes. If I start at any one of these points, I can go up and down and up and down. But if I make an even number of moves starting from 2, I'm always going to end at 2 or 8. And if I make an odd number of moves starting at 2, I'm always going to end up at 1 or 4. And so what that means is actually, I don't know which way it goes yet, but actually there's only at most 2 digits represented along this diagonal, and there's at most 2 digits represented along this diagonal. That is, they're all either 1, 4, or they're all 2, 8. I don't know which one. And then the same is true down this diagonal. So in fact, blue cannot take a third one of these cells. Blue could not take that. That is very cute. Hey, Peter, I was told. So if blue comes here, I'm just imagining here. Blue can't go down here now. It won't finish. So blue will come up like that. And that seems broken to me. I don't think blue can make it here. I think if blue takes this cell, I think we break. Because if blue comes up here, now, again, I can't come down here because I won't finish. So I have to come here and here and here. But now there's no more cells I can take. And I'm not getting... That's only 7. That's not enough. So blue can't take this cell. At least not going this way. So next question, can blue take this cell alone? If blue takes this cell alone and not that cell, then we could still do something like this, but now I think we can get away with this kind of shenaniganery. Where maybe no, that doesn't look good either. That looks bad for this thing. Oh, I'd have to do that? I could do that. I think that shape might be acceptable. So I think I probably can't prove that. But, sorry, there's a good thing I should do, which is exactly what Dog says in chat, which is what I should have said, which is to note, if this can't go up from here, then it always needs to take this cell, and it can't take this cell, because if it took that cell, now we've just proven it can't possibly work. So blue actually inherits a border here, and because blue takes at most 1 cell in that direction, blue always grows in this direction. In fact, quite a bit. Blue has to grow at least that far, and I think it probably has to keep growing further. Because even if blue takes this cell, it's still got to grow more. We've proven it can't grow up, so blue has to go over here. And now this is interesting because I know this cell is not blue, and so I can give it a color. And so whatever this is, it's got to get to 9 cells. So it's not going to get to 9 cells without growing over here. It's going to have to grow up. It can't grow right because of the fact that it's already touched this cell. So it's going to have to grow left over to here. Hey, Ken, how are you? And now, again, it only has 1 outlet. It could take this cell, but no matter what, it has to take this cell. It has its pair. Aha! It has its pair. It can only get 2 of these, remember, because on this diagonal, these are only from 2 digits. So therefore, this has to be blue, because yellow can't take another one. And so that ends blue's reign. And by the same token, yellow can't take this cell. Yellow can't take that cell. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that, Ken. Things are pretty good here. Oops. So this grows up at least this far. So now we have to border this side of blue, or chat will be very unhappy. Let's see. So, yeah, I don't think this could possibly be none blue, right? If this was not blue, it would have to grow up, and now blue can't finish, right? If this were some region, say it's green, these two would become green, and now blue, if I look at it, blue can't sort of kink in that direction. I do agree with Pater that this is a very smooth puzzle so far. So that's blue. And blue's now at 8 cells. So blue is moving up in the world. Let's see. I probably should be asking things like, where is this 1, 2, 4, 8 in blue? Maybe I don't quite know enough about it yet. Hey, Tallcat, how are you? When are we doing our anti-night collab? Let's see. So yeah, this can't be blue and it can't be yellow. So this is a new region, but I don't know that I want to color it. But I can definitely color this now. So this is going to have to take at least all of these cells. No real choices going on there. Oh no, you haven't slept for 30 hours? That's terrible. I mean, it's much better than when you said you hadn't slept for 39 hours. Let's see, do these 9s do anything in blue? They say that this cell isn't 9 twice. That's not really helpful. Maybe the 9 does something in yellow? Not quite. Let's see. Okay. Isabella, I think, is going to say that orange has to take this. And I think Afraid Not is saying the same thing. If orange doesn't take this, let's just imagine the world where this is not orange. Then orange is now forced up here, and orange takes too many of these 1, 2, 4, 8s. Because now orange is forced to do that. So this can't be... This is orange. I really love this this idea. This idea is super clever. It is interesting that actually we know this is really a pair. So we know that, like, originally this could have been like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 all the way down, but it can't be anymore because these have to be different. But I don't think we yet know if these are the same or not. Hey, Myfer. And so now we do the same trick here. What if this cell isn't orange? And if this cell isn't orange, now orange is going to have to come up through here, and in so doing, it's going to absorb too many of those, so that can't be not orange, so that has to be orange. I think Afraid Not was the one I first saw sort of note that about row 9, column 5 needing to be orange. Let's see. Okay, so now... Oh, wait, could this cell... If this cell is orange, that cell's orange. But no, that might be okay. This cell can't be orange. I'm willing to say that. Maybe I should give this a color. Because if this cell is orange, we have a huge problem in that now this cell is going to be engulfed by orange and is going to become orange. So this cell can't be orange. It is a new region. We're going to make it green. And the reason I'm at least going that far is that I see that green can only take 2 cells below it, so green has to go left at the very least. Oh, interesting. So plebiscide, the short story, and I'll try and keep it short because it's not very interesting, is that I needed to get the new COVID vaccine, and because of work, I couldn't really do it without sort of adjusting the stream schedule for a day to go get it. But I didn't know how long it would take. As it happened, it did not take very long. So we started an hour earlier. We just gave ourselves 2 hours because I didn't want people to be waiting around for a long time. Okay, so several people are talking about things not being able to be 1 or 8, so I want to note that. Right. This cell can't be 1 or 8 because if it was, these two would have to be the same, and they can't be. That's very cool. And so by the same token, that can't be 1 or 8. Interesting. This is very cool. I am told we have a 1-8 pair in row 6. Oh, right, because this is a 1 or an 8. I should have filled that in. I did not ever think to fill this in, but this is a 1-8. But this could be 2-4. I don't think there's any reason we know that this can't be 2-4, is there? But this being 1-8 is certainly sus, because it either is consecutive with 9, in which case it's an 8, or it adds to 10 with 9, in which case it's a 1, which is very, very cute. Can someone try and explain to me why this can't be green? I've seen several people assert it, and I don't think I understand it yet. It should be noted I know one of these is 1 or 8. Right. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see it. So yeah, if green does this, in order to take that cell, now green can only go up through this, but now green is taking too many of these cells again. So green can't take that cell, so that cell can only be orange. And so now this cell can't be a 2 or a 4, because remember the options for these pairs did not include 2-4. They were either, if we remember, they were either 1-4 or 2-8. So I only get 1-2-4 number in a region on one of the sides of the black dot. So this is not 2 or 4. This is 1 or 8. And now that tells me that this digit is 2 or 4. Because it's touching a 1 or 8. And that tells me that this digit's not 2 or 4 for the same reason. It's 1 or 8. But it's not the same 1 or 8. It's the other 1 or 8. And so now this is not 1 or 8. It's 2 or 4. So now this cell can't be green because I can't put 2 2-4s on the same side of the world in green. So that is not green. And so therefore this cell needs to be green, because if green takes this cell, it just finishes and is only 3 cells. So this cell's not green, so therefore it's orange. So green keeps growing. Orange, I should count how many cells it's at. Orange is not done yet, so orange needs to take this cell. And now I think orange is done. Woohoo! Region dense. Boop 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 boop. What up? Boop boop. Boop boop. This is not a 2-4 pair, Nicholas. These are the same 2-4. Because there's only 1 2-4 on this side of this dot string. Green now can't go up. I should have marked. And so because green can't go up, I saw Changeable say this. I should have seen it, but I did not. But Changeable did right away. Oh, no problem, Nicholas. Just explaining how it worked, is that these are the same one. Okay, so green comes down here. Or sorry, green comes to here at least. Okay, I probably should ask myself... Should I ask myself about the nature of this cell's region? I mean, it obviously takes the 9. Maybe that's not the story yet. I was just basically asking myself if row 6, column 5 needs a color. I don't think it deserves a color just yet, because I don't think I can say more than that it takes these 2 cells. I can draw a little gray line across them to remind me that those two take this, or that those two were in the same region. I mean, I think it probably takes that cell, but I don't know, actually. So I feel like I'm supposed to be doing Sudoku. Like, where is this 2-4 in yellow is an interesting question, but yellow still gets another cell or 2 or 3. No, 2. Yellow still gets 2 more cells. But this 2-4 is getting quite pinched in where it's going to go in yellow. Oh, this 2-4 in blue is interesting. Aha! This 2-4 in blue. Where does this 2-4 go in blue? It goes in this row. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Damn it. No. Blue's only 8 cells. Blue needs another cell. Blue could take its 2-4 up here or here or something. Never mind. I recant. I was all excited that I was going to get to, like, use a virtual 2-4 to knock 2-4 out of this cell, but sadly I cannot immediately. Let's see. So close. Yes. It was a nice almost deduction. Yes. It was a very nice almost deduction. I like that. This is going to get a color, but I don't know what. Yeah, do I want to flash the two? I mean, the thing is, so far, the known to be the same 2-4s are just the ones that are on the same side. And so far we can keep track of it, but I bet eventually we're going to be circling and Xing 2-4s or something like that. Because this feels like the kind of puzzle where the very last step is going to be that you're going to put a 1-8 on one of these next to something that's going to tell you which 1 or 8 it is. Yeah, they could have different colors of circles, or be circle and X is usually the way it works, but, like, so far, like, I usually do circle and X instead of colors of circle, but colors of circle also works. But so far, we just know where they all are, because it's just about what side of this this line you belong on. Trying to look at this 1-8, but I don't think this 1-8 is interesting. Okay, let's see. Isabella says, look at what happens if green doesn't take this cell. So if green doesn't take this cell, then green is forced to wrap around like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Green has exactly that shape. And I'm supposed to look at the 2-4. What am I supposed to see? Oh, wow, that's hard. But Isabel is completely right. This 2-4. Okay. We now need a circle and an X 2-4. I apologize in advance. There's the circle 2-4s and the circle 1-8s. Circle 2-4, if green does this, does not appear in the bottom row. That's Isabella's point. And so that's forced completely if green doesn't take this cell. So green needs to take that cell. Row 7, column 6 is an X. The X's are the ones that are above the axis. The circles are the ones that are below the axis. There we go. And so now that was gorgeous. I wonder if that was the intended deduction. That's hard. It's cool, but it's hard. So green can't take this cell, and so now we get a new region that's coming in here and taking all of this real estate just for free. So we can ungray that now. Now this can't be a 2-4. It's a 1-8. This we know is not purple. Oops. This can't be purple anymore because of thingies. And so purple now only has 1 out. So purple goes up. Purple can't take this cell, though, because of the whole 1-8 shenanigans. So this is its own new region. This can be red, I guess, while we still have things. So red is going to grow up, which is going to put some pressure on yellow at least. We can go ahead and we can circle that. And, of course, these are automatically X'd just by virtue of where they are. Let's see. Sadly, this obnoxious 1-8 is still haunting us, because we really want to know if this is circle or x28. We do not yet know. Okay. Yellow is still only at 7 cells, so yellow needs 2 more friends. Can this be green? I think the answer is yes. Oh, good point, good point. From Chameleon. Now I get to ask where circle 2-4 goes in yellow, and now there's only a couple possible answers. I think there are 2 possible answers, which is that it could go here. No, it can't go there. No. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so where does circle 2-4 go in yellow? Well, it's ruled out of every cell that's already in yellow. And so the only place it can go in yellow is here, I believe. So I think we get yellow finishing like that in order to accommodate the circly 2-4, because we need to put the circly 2-4 somewhere. Isabella says I'm wrong. Where else could it go? I must be missing an option. Is there really another place it can go? Isabella disagrees. I think it has to. I think I believe this. Which is going to be huge for lots of reasons. So this is the circle 2-4. It's the only place for the circle 2-4 in yellow. So yellow has to grow that way in order to do that. That's going to push red out this way. Which is now going to push purple out this way. Purple, we know, can't grow down. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those so far. This circly... No, sorry, that does not do that. Yes, across the black dot from a 1-8 is always a 2-4. Is a good point from Tristan. And so now that 2-4 being here means this isn't a 2-4. This is a 1-8. So I've got a 2-4 pair in yellow now. So I've got actually a 2-3-4 triple in yellow. So I can go ahead and label up yellow. So yellow is not 2, 3, or 4. So it's only 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. And these aren't 9. Sorry, there's no 4. Sorry, it would have been ridiculous to pencil mark that if it could be 4. Is removing the X's recommended? So now this is a circle. That's the point, because that's an X, so this is a circle. Yeah, we could make the X's gray. Actually, I guess we could make all of these things gray. That would probably make life nicer for everyone. So those can be the X's. These can be the O's. And then the point is now this is an X. No, sorry. The point is now this is an O. So these aren't 1 or 8, we now know, because of the 1-8 pair. These are only from 5, 6, 7. Hey, Doomdiot. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so we've got to play... These being 5, 6, 7 across some white dots is interesting. Peter claims they can't be 5, but they could be white dots, remember? I was sad about that, but... I can also remove it from row 5, column 6, I am told. Ah, right. This also sees the 1/8. Very good. Because this sees that 1/8 and that 1/8 in that way, which is very cool. So circle 1/8 in blue is now going to fix things, because that's not going to be circle 1/8. That's not going to... Oh, no. Circle 1/8 could be here. Dang it. I thought we were going to get to place circle 1/8 here by looking at blue. But not as of yet, unfortunately. Let's see. Yeah, we could do the whole square counting thing over here, but this still has enough latitude that I don't quite want to do that yet, unless I absolutely have to. Let's see, how many... I'm trying not to, but now I'm starting to do it anyway. Yeah, the circle 1/8 is in here, I agree. Oh, so we've got to think about where circle 8 goes in... circle 1/8 goes in green, probably there. Is it... Can we argue that green can't have a circle 1/8 otherwise? I don't think so. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So probably purple does have to go left, because if purple doesn't go left, then I need some other region here. So it sounds like this is not going to get us anything right away. Whatever this is, I'm going to give it green, because the other green's over there. I'm going to give this green. It could maybe take this cell, but it could never take that cell, because one of these two I know is blue. So green only gets to budge one cell over here. So green always has to go up. Like that. Although that petered out very quickly. Sorry, I should have been more specific. This could be green, but it can't be green by going through here, Meme Rister points out. That is true. Let's see. Yeah, are we going to get something kind of like that, but not? Because we can't get exactly that. I think probably we're supposed to think about these doohickeys. So let's note that this one can't be 2 or 4. So what things could this possibly be? So if this is a 5, this would need to be a 4 or a 6, but it can't be a 6. So it would have to be... Sorry, it can't be a 4, so it would have to be a 6. If this is a 6, this would have to be a 4, and it can't be. Or a 5 or a 7. And if this is a 7, this would have to be a 6 or an 8. So I guess the thing we get from this white dot is that this is 5, 6, 7, or 8. Or 3. Oh, crap. Yeah, or 3. What a disaster. I think we really have to do the whole counting thing that I've been trying not to do. So here's the idea here. There's a potential border somewhere in here, so we're going to count cells over here. And so one of these cells is blue. I'm just going to use that one. And then if I make that blue in my imagination, I just have to count these cells. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 15 cells. But this needs to belong to regions, and regions have sizes that are 9. So that is 15, 16, 17, 18. All of those have to be involved in regions. And so the upshot of all of this is that we have a region that comes across like that. It might or might not be green. I'm just going to get rid of green. Green wasn't doing anything for anyone anyway. And so then we can go ahead and border in all of this. Let's see. Green, no! A quick count in my head revealed that it could be green, but the quick count in my head was wrong. So we can bring green back is the upshot. Because it can't be green. Because that would require 10 cells. So this is a different kind of green. Like, say, an orange kind of green. And now, there's only 2 regions in here. And so the problem with that is that means this cell now has to be green, because the only thing it can be, the only things up here by our maths are green and orange. And so that cell is green. And so this cell needs to connect to green somehow. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what I can say here to visualize this. Let's see. Can row 3, column 7 be orange? Let's see. That would make orange look like that. Doesn't it have to be? I bet it does look like that. I mean, this is the Cogito signature right here. Oh no, that doesn't work because of blue. Cute. Okay. So yeah, I thought for sure it was going to look like that, but it can't because that would break blue. Well, it would break blue or split the green, either way. But that's not a proof, right? Or is it a proof? No, it literally is a proof, because if this cell is orange, it has to go there. And now it has to go there. And now I only have 1 cell left, it can't be there. So yeah, if this was orange, it would have to look like that. I'm sure there's a good proof. Cogito likes good proofs. But this is not a good proof, but I'm going to take it. This can't be orange, so it's green. So therefore, this is orange. So therefore, this is green. So now, if, let's see, okay, which of these things can green not do? Oh, right, this cell. This cell has to be green. As I see Kuravan point out. Because, well, it's obviously not blue, unless blue is only diagonally connected. And it's not orange, because orange is just completely blocked off. So this cell's always green. I'm sorry if I hurt the proof's feelings. Right. Remember, by connectedness, green can't connect under here because there's a blue in here. So green connects over, not under. So green either connects here or, well, it doesn't even have a choice. I don't even have to make a more sophisticated argument. That just has to be green. So that makes life much better. So now green is at... Well, green is effectively at 8 cells now, because one of these 2 is green. And so green takes one of these 2, but these 2 have to be orange. Yeah, Afraid Not says it right after I did it in my timeline. Exactly the same thing. Afraid Not was noticing that these two had to be orange. Oh, right. Row 4, column 8. I see. This row 4, column 8 can't be green because it's across from green. So that's blue. And so we get our little scent shape blue region, which then makes this cell green. Let's see. And let's see. We get a circle 1, 8 in blue. Placed here per Afraid Not. So there is my circle 1, 8. I will always, in these puzzles, put off counting regions until I absolutely have to. And I don't feel I absolutely have to yet. Hey, Solid Void, welcome. I know that the counting thing is like, a lot of people really like that kind of argument. Like, there's a lot of that in pencil puzzle type logic. It's not my favorite. I don't despise it or anything, but I generally put it off if I can at all. So circle 1, 8 in green is not in any of these cells at the very least. I guess that doesn't quite do it. Let's see. Afraid Not says I should check what this could be. So, if this was a 1, this would need to be 2 or 9, and it can be neither. So, therefore, this is an 8, and we get to do an 8 dance. Woohoo! Waha! Nice. I did not see that coming. That was very cool. It was a twist, as they say. So that's a 1. Therefore, these are both 2. That's a 4. Now, 1s are above the line. So it is 8s that are below the line. So that's a 2. That's an 8. So this is a 4. 1s are above the line. 8s, or this is an 8. We can get rid of the various X's and O's now. Okay, so we've got all of that. So now what digit is this? This now must be a 7. It has no choices, because it can't be a 2, which would work with 8, and it can't be a 9, so this can only be a 7. For whatever that is worth. Very little, I expect. Oh, I just didn't fill in this last one of those. Oh, and I didn't even... Oh, I never even made that one gray, much less deleted it. So let's see. So these are not 1. I should write down. Let's see. One of these two is an 8, I know. Its father always wanted it to be a 7. I'm sure that was very difficult for it. Let's see. So this is actually not a V, or sorry, this is not an X, because it sees 7, 8, 9, and it can't be 4, 6, because both of these things see 4. So this is a white dot. So this could be 1, 2, if it's in that order. So it could be 1, 2. It could be 2, 3 in either order, I believe. It can't involve a 4 at all. So it can't involve... So if it involves a 5, it involves a 5 and a 6. So the other option is that this is 5, 6. So this is either exactly 5, 6, or it's 1, 2, or 2, 3. That is good to know. Let's see. I probably should ask about 1 in orange. 1 in orange is over in one of those 2 cells only. Let's see. We have a lot of 4s. Get some good bread, Isabella. I do love bread. 1 and 2 in green can't go in any of these places. 5, 6 pair between orange and green. Is Kurban saying that there's only one way to possibly fill in this white dot if I look at it closely? It's possible that that is what Kurban is saying. Okay, so let's look at this. So can this be one of the X's? So it can't be 1, 9, because this cell can be neither 1 nor 9. It can't be 2, 8, or 3, 7, or 4, 6. So it can't be any of the X's. And so then we've got to look at our dots. Well, because 2 and 4 are gone, if this is a white dot, it needs a 6 or an 8 on it. Now, if it wants to have an 8 on it, it's not going to be able to, because the 8 couldn't go there, and so the 8 would have to go there, but then that would need to be a 7 or a 9, so this is actually a 5, 6 pair. I'm going to guess that wasn't intended either. But that is a crazy good spot. So let's fill in the rest of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, not 5 or 6, 7, 8 or 9. Okay, so this can't be a 3 because there's nothing that 3 would go with over here. Let's see. This, I think, could be an 8 with a 9. So there's always a 9 on this dot. Is that true? I think there's always a 9 on this dot. Wait, how is this ever 3? This is never 3. I don't even know why I left 3 in. So this is 1 or 9. And so then this is 1, 8, or 9, because it can't be 2. And there's always a 9 involved. So this cell is not 9. I know there's a 7 down here, but that just does not seem interesting. The green 8. There's no way green gets its 8 in this row. That's not allowed. So green's 8 is either going to have to be this, or green's going to have to do something really acrobatic. Like, the only other place green could possibly get an 8 is there, and that's too many cells, right? That's got to be way too many. That's way too many cells. So this 8 is green. It's the only place green can get an 8. By the way, I know I always complain about that, but this was a perfectly well telegraphed instance of this. Like, it was very clear I should ask if this needed to be green or not. So I don't, and clearly the 1, 2, 4, 8 digits are the important digits in the puzzle. So I have no complaints about that particular use of that deduction. Because if green got to row 8, column 1, I need to fit a region in 4 cells, Jim, is why. So it's not that green couldn't get to row 8, column 1. It's that green getting to row 8, column 1 would create a... via row 9. Oh, you're right. Maybe it could do... Maybe green... No, we already proved green can't do that for some reason earlier. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was 2. If green goes via row 9, it puts a 2 in this row. Which was a proof earlier. So we can actually say that. But yeah, sorry. You're completely right. I just outright missed that. Although it is too many cells. That's a good point. That is that is also 10 cells. That is the much, much better proof than the thing about 2s in row 9. Not that the thing about 2s in row 9 isn't cool, but it's much easier to verify that that's 10 cells. And 10 is more than too many. Okay. Let's see. Todd says, where could 4 go in purple and still allow for red? Okay, so far, there is no cell that's marked purple that could be a 4. So we need to get to a 4. Obviously, it's not there. So yeah, we really need to count. We need to do the counting thing down here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 18 cells exactly. So that means that purple can't make it down here. If purple tried to come to this cell, we would now have a not multiple of 9 number of cells down here. And if this was not a border between these two cells, then we would not have a multiple of 9 cells from here. So this needs to be a border, is Garian's point that I think Garian has wanted me to do for a while. So this has to be a border by math counting stuff. And there's only one other region down here that's playing with green. So we can make this green's playmate blue just for this. Now, this cell we know can't possibly be green, so it's blue, because green only has 2 more cells. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So blue needs to take this cell, because green only has 2 more, so blue always takes that cell. Green certainly can't get here, so that's always blue. Green can't take this cell, or it would separate them, so that's blue. Green can't take this cell, or it would separate them, so that's blue. People saying blue connects on the edge are the people who do pencil puzzles. You can tell. Let's see. It's important that I note where the 4 in orange is. Namely, the 4 in orange is in one of these 2 cells. Wait, somehow I thought it was green that I was trying to put a 4 in, but it's not green I'm trying to put a 4 in. Although this is the only cell I've currently marked that can be green, or that can be the green 4, and these can't be 4. So the green 4 is either here, or here, or here, or here, I suppose. Well, it's not there, because there's already a 4 there. Let's see. I mean, I'm sure this cell has to be purple. Do I really want to prove it? If this cell isn't purple, then there's a region that starts here and grows up, which makes purple grow up, which makes this thing grow up, which makes purple grow up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. And purple can't grow up to, or it would break red. So this cell does have to be purple, and it's not terrible to prove. It would break red if it was not. Let's see. Oh, the right blue. Right. And so the point is, from Jim, or sorry, the point from Tom here is, up here, there's only one more purple, and then the rest is red. So these 2 could be that purple. These are all just red for free, which I agree with. Our tree is a little bit on fire. Let's see. Yeah, so one of these is purple. One of these is the purple 4. as is pointed out by, sorry, who said that? Streaming Ice Cube pointed out. One of these is a 4, because these aren't, none of these can be 4, that can't be a 4, and that can't be a 4. So yeah, one of these is the purple 4. So now, where does 4 go in green is an interesting question, because now this green can't have a 4 anywhere over there. It certainly can't have a 4 there. So the green 4 now is in one of these two cells, which is interesting. Is it going to turn out that this can't be a green 4 because of the dot? I'm not sure. Let's see. Orange has a 2. Oh, this orange. Okay, so Kurobon has a good point, which is that we have a Jovi wing on 2s. So green's 2 needs to be from one of these cells. Blue's 2 needs to be from one of those cells. And so those together are the 2s for columns 8 and 9. So we can't put any 2s in these cells. We just directly can't put any 2s in these cells. And so therefore this cell is the orange 2. That was a really good spot to Kurobon there. Let's see. The 2 down here, I guess, is in one of 3 cells. We don't quite know much about it yet. Let's see. Where does red get a 2 from? No, green. Where does green get a 2 from is now the point. Right? Because now doesn't green... Oh, no, sorry, never mind. Red currently can't get a 2 from any of these cells. So red needs a 2, and so the point is this is a 2-4 pair. And so now once that's a 2-4 pair, now I look across here and I see that those can't be 2, that can't be 2, that can't be 2. And so now this is a 2. And so now this needs to be a 3, because that's the only thing that white squares with 2. That can go there. So this can't be a 3. So these digits, let's just fill them in, are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one's not a 1. This one I know is not a 4. Okay, now where's the right blue 2, asks Directionary, and the right blue 2 is here. Now the blue 4, no, blue already has a 4. So that gives us a 5, 6, 7 triple. So these are a 3 and a 4. Which gives me a Jovi wing on 4s, but I think these are the last 4s in the grid, so I don't think it's exciting. The 4 in column 3, I am being told, is resolved, so it's not in those cells. Not in those cells. It's not down there because the 4 in orange is here, so the 4 in column 3 is here. That's good. Let's see, where is the 9 in right blue? Can this not be a 9 for some reason? Oh, no, this can't be a 9 is the point. This can't be a 9. So that's a 9. So this is a 1, because 1 is the only thing that goes next to it other than 8, which is already in the column. We have done all of this assuming that I'm not allowed to repeat digits in rows and columns, by the way, which it was pointed out by chat the rules do not say. But I sort of assumed. Okay. this can't be a 6. Because if this is a 6, then one of these two is a 5, but 5 only goes with 4 and 6. And then 4 and 6 would be gone in blue. So this can't be a 6. It has to be a 5. So that's not a 5. Yeah, that my brain likes that kind of deduction. Grant, it's absolutely the kind of deduction that I know some people would not like, but for whatever reason, my brain is very into that exact thing. So this is a 6 or a 7 in order to finish this. So 1-4 pair. Yep, sure is. Row 4, column 6 is fixed by the square, I am being told. There's a 6-7 pair in yellow. That's a good thing to notice. So these aren't 7. That's not 6. And so the question is, what is this? This could be 4-5 or 9-8. So 4. Oh, but this can't be 4 because there's a 4 to its left. Thank you, Sven. So this is not 4-5, and it's not 5-5, and it's not 5-6, so it's actually 9-8. So that's not an 8. Why do I still have 6 marked here? I screwed up this pencil mark somehow. I think. I think that's right, but I think I deleted the wrong pencil marks before, I believe. So what are these? These are actually a 5 and an 8, right? I do need an 8. So that's an 8 and that's a 5. Maybe that's actually correct. So that's a 6 and a 5. So this column needs a 1. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a 7. We've got an 8. We need a 9. Apparently this can't be a 1 and this can't be a 9. This can't be a 7, though, because there's a 7 in the region, so it's a 1. Always a little sad when you resolve one of these pencil marks without using it. Tiny violin or whatever. If this were a 9, this would need to be a 1 or an 8, and it can be neither. So this is not a 9, it's a 7. So that's a 6 and a 7 and a 6 and a 7. This needs to be, well, it can't be a 6 or an 8, so it must be a 3. So that's a 1 and a 9 and an 8 and a 3 and a 4 and a 3. It's interesting because I thought these were going to be ambiguity clues, but they're really not ambiguity clues. What these really are is clues that are completely meaningless until exactly the moment when the cogito wants you to use them for something. So like, I think basically if you think about these clues at all at any point in the puzzle, you're doing it wrong. I think is the design decision behind these, because they're not meant to be thought about. They're only meant to be used mercilessly. So that's a 2 and a 4. I mean, they do a beautiful job of being completely useless until exactly the moment when they fill in a digit for you. So placing that 2 sorts out the 2 and the 4 because the 4 can't be read. This 3 actually has to be green because blue already has a 3. So we've got that. We can fill in this triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 doesn't go with 5 or 6, so this is a 5, 6. That's a 1. Let's see. There's already a 6 in green, I am noticing. Let's fill in this row. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is not a 1 or a 3. This is not a 3. This can't be a 6 because it sees this 5, 6 pair. So this is only a 1 or a 7. This just is a 3 by pencil mark gooiness. This column is missing 3, 5. 3 and 5 is all that's missing. So the given 3 actually will do that. That's the 5 and that's the 3. So we've got that. This row is missing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's not 5 or 9. That's not 3 or 7. That's not 3 or 9. That's not 9. And so that gives us a 3, 5, 7, which makes that a 9, which means that this is a 1 or an 8, and it's not a 1, so it is an 8, which places an 8 here. If you did not catch that, this 8 means I need to look at where 8 goes in row 1, because 8 can't repeat an orange, and 8 can't go here because of that 8, so it places that 8. Anytime you have a region like this that takes up the majority of a row or column, whenever you find something about the digit that's sort of hanging out of that row or column, you should immediately, this is my chaos construction tutorial for you, you should immediately ask what happens to that digit in the rest of that row or column. If people want to be pretentious, they'll call that the law of leftovers, but I think it's nicer to think about it in simpler terms than that. But yeah, anytime you've got that kind of shape, it should just scream at you what is happening. And I mean, sometimes it won't do anything, but often it will be the key to unraveling one of these. So these digits are a 4 and a 5. And that one's not a 5, so it is a 4, and that one's a 5. So that is there. Let's see. These 2, 3. I'm not saying calling anything law of leftovers is pretentious. I'm just saying I think when you do it for like something that simple, I think it is. When you're doing it for the more complicated stuff, I think it is perfectly appropriate to call it the law of leftovers. But yes, otherwise, if it's in this instance, you have to call it the law of sticky outiness, as Tom says. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To be clear, I didn't actually see anyone call it the law of leftovers in chat today. So if you did, I wasn't calling you out. Just in the past, some people will say that, but usually not in my chat. Usually in my chat, people say, if you highlight row 3, 4, 5, and 6 and apply the law of leftovers, then you can find this really bizarre triple that will immediately or resolve the puzzle that I never, ever, ever would have seen. But that is very cool. Let's see. So we've got all manner of things. The Cogito tells me that used to be a deduction in this puzzle. Thank you for not making that a deduction in this puzzle. I am learning that this is a 2. 3, 4. One of these is a 5. They're not both 5, however, I don't think. 6, 7. These are a 5 and a 7. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 5 and 9 is what these are. So we've got all of this going on. I love this sort of like snake that we have going on for green at the moment. This I can probably fill in. This is probably the one that people are telling me was naked before. 4, 5, 6. This is a 7. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, these are from 1, 4, 6. That one's not 1. That one's not 4. Is one of these secretly also not the other thing? I don't think so. Oh, but this cell is a 4 or a 6 that's not a 6. So this is a 4 and that's a 6. And therefore, that's a 1 and that's a 4. But this being a 1 tells me it's orange, which means this cell is green. And we get to fill in our border. Woohoo! And so this is a 1 and a 7 and a 6 and a 1 and a 5 and a 6, which now tells me that that's not green because green already has a 6. So that is blue. Boop-a-doop. Now that 5 has placed a 7 down here, That 7 has to be blue because green already has a 7. And now this has to be blue because what else is it going to be? And now green can only possibly take this cell. I really can't say thank you enough for the betting tree, by the way. I really love the betting tree functionality that was added by Chameleon. Let's see, that 9 makes that a 5, makes that a 9, makes that a 5. This is a 7. 3, 4, 5. This is a 6. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is a 9. The betting tree is a 9. I and Zach congratulate you. If you bet 9, may all your wishes come true. I chose a good bet, so I feel like. Yeah, that was very fun. I enjoyed that. There was like a split second where it felt like it was maybe starting to bog down, but the Cogito beautifully put enough clues in the grid that it only was like a very brief moment, and then just everything sort of flowed until the end. And so it's flowed very well from the beginning, and there's only one spot where I was briefly stuck. And the Cogito did make me count, but very nice chaos construction. It's really hard to do a chaos construction that is this smooth. Like almost always, chaos construction puzzles end up having like at least one part where it's annoying. Or yeah, as Kurban says, there's very often like a very grindy part at the end. Like I'm guessing this is enormously overclued. I could be wrong, but I'm betting that a lot of these are unnecessary clues that are just here to make this puzzle smooth rather than just making it unique. Because it did very well at that, which I think overcluing chaos constructions is broadly a very good idea. Yeah, counting mod 9 is hard. I mean, I count for a living. But yeah, the none of the counting in this, by the way, was ever egregious. It was all very clear that it was like it was always like, okay, I probably am supposed to count this, but I'm going to try for a minute to do something else and see if I can get away with not doing it. Well, I guess I have to. It wasn't like it was not monstrous. And the fact that all of the places you had to count, it turned out it was 2 regions. And also, I really liked, by the way, that when you counted this one up here, you actually got 5 cells of this region at once. That was very cool. It made it feel rewarding to do the counting, when usually what counting does is get you one border or whatever, but here it got you like a whole thing. I really have to say I really like the shapes overall. Like the usually the grids in the end of a chaos construction aren't that chaotic, but the variety of shapes, like I don't think I've ever seen one of these in a chaos construction before. I'm not actually 100% sure I've seen one of these in a chaos construction before. Like there's lots of cool shapes. Yeah, the collection of nonagons that were chosen is very pleasant. Alrighty, well, I'm going to take a quick break. And then when I come back, I am going to dig up another puzzle. So I will see you all very, very shortly. And yes, and thank you for setting this, Cogito. As I said, the only reason why I haven't done this particular puzzle sooner is because I did another of your puzzles sooner. You had a bit there with a bunch of puzzles that I heard everyone talking about. Anyway, I assume there will be something new soon from you that will be exciting as well. But I will be right back. And we're back. And we're back with a puzzle by grkles. If you've been around the stream for a very long time, when the stream started for a long time, there was a grkles puzzle basically every episode. Why is this? Oh, I see. Okay. There we go. I had it organized very badly. That is better. There is like a grkles puzzle basically every episode or every stream for forever at the start. And that was because grkles puzzles had always terrified me. And so I wasn't really comfortable doing grkles puzzles without chat to help me. And then once I started streaming, I got through a whole lot of grkles puzzles that I'd always wanted to do. And grkles is an incredibly prolific setter. Certainly, I think grkles sets more puzzles in the average week than I set in the average year. But grkles puzzles are always very enjoyable. But there's not been any grkles puzzles recently because grkles has been working on a 200 puzzle book. Do I have that right, grkles? It's 200 puzzles, I believe. But grkles now also has just started a Patreon where he's going to publish puzzles every week. So it's a little more than 200, boy. If you would like to have, yes, there's going to be a grkles book. I hope I'm not saying anything I'm not supposed to. I think I'm supposed to say that there's going to be a book. But also, Tristan can post a link to grkles Patreon in the chat if you would like to join and get exclusive grkles puzzles. So I am hoping this is the first of many more grkles puzzles to come, because we've not gotten to do them in a while. Alrighty. So this is called the Sneakiest Reuben. By the way, fun fact, Reubens are my favorite sandwich, and I love sandwiches. So the fact that Reubens are my favorite sandwich is quite saying something. But we have the Sneakiest Reuben here. And so these are German whispers. Digits along the green lines have to differ by at least 5. So when I go from here to here, the difference has to be at least 5. So if this is an 8, I could make this, for example, a 2. That's 6 apart. That's at least 5. And these are the sandwich clues, but they're not giving the sum of the sandwich like sandwich clues usually do. They're giving the length of the sandwich. So in this case, it's saying that between the 1 and the 9 in the row, there is one cell. So it could look something like that, for example. And so if this is saying there's 3 cells, it could be a 1 and then 3 cells and then a 9. And there we go. So, we get to color this grid in 2 ways. Yeah, and usually there's either Thousand Island dressing or Russian dressing or something of that sort. See, the Cogito says if gyros are sandwiches, then those are their favorite. So there's all kinds of things that we can immediately rule out from being crust. So the thing I was noticing right away was the 1 here is telling me that there's 1 digit between the crust. And so between the 1 and the 9. And so that tells me, actually, this cell can't be a 1 or a 9 because it would make that a 1 or a 9. But now the parities are wrong because I always alternate high and low as I go along a whisper. So this can't be crust. And so I'm going to make it... Actually, I'm going to make it gray to indicate that it can't be crust because green looks a little clashy on green. Green is the traditional. Oh, we need a bedding tree. That's true. Do you have a recommended bedding tree, grkles? I know you just did this puzzle yesterday because you put it on LMD recently. I'm going to guess down here, but if grkles has a better recommendation, I will move the bedding tree to a grkles suggestion. Exactly this. No, the same thing would not happen here. Row 1, column 9. Oh, we're going to move the bedding tree all the way over to here. Yeah, so same problem if this was crust. If this was crust, I would need to put a 1 and a 9, a bad number of cells apart. Okay. Lots of this column can't be crust just by nature of the 6. You are allowed to change your bet if the relocation of the tree causes these things. So if this were crust, now I don't have room for a 6 long sandwich. So this can't be crust, and actually none of these and that can't be crust either. And now we have our first crust, because now this cell has to be crust, and this cell has to be crust. Oh, sorry, I still should not use that. We'll still go with purple for my crusts. Although I suspect at some point we're going to get rid of the crust coloring and start doing whisper coloring. But maybe we'll do them on top of each other. I don't know. But that immediately tells me that the 4 here has to be these 4. And so that's crust. The puzzle I'm working on now that I've repeatedly broken is a sandwich puzzle of sorts. That I just keep destroying. I think it's because it's a Sudoku X, and I think those might secretly be impossible to set. That is my theory. If this were... No, never mind. Sorry, I was going to say something completely incorrect, so I will not say it. Right. This can't be crust now because it would put a crust there. And this can't be crust because it would put a crust there. That's a great spot to curve on. And the reason why that's a problem is it would put 3 crusts in the box. So neither of those are crusts. It is kind of like a puzzle with 2 doublers, so that the crusts, instead of always being 1 and 9, the crusts are 2 sets of 1 through 9 that obey the doubler rules of not repeating in rows, columns, and boxes, is the basic gist of the puzzle, and then the clue is just the sum between them. Let's see, I'm being told that this is not crust. 1, 2, 3, that one? Oh, it's because of that one. Got it. It's because of the 3 up there. Because if this was crust, I would need to make a 3 long one. Thank you, Judith. So now, one thing that's striking me is that whenever I know that something isn't crust, it's useful in that it tells me that the things next to it aren't 4 or 6, because 4 and 6 only go next to 1 and 9, and so I'm expecting that that will be useful at some point. So we have almost but not quite gotten a 4-6 pair in column 2, for example. I could put a 4 and a 6 in these 3 cells in the column, for example. Oh, right. Carrion points out, I was missing the easier thing, which is that you can't put a 5 on a green line. And so the fact that you can't put a 4 or a 6 there actually makes this a 4, 5, 6 triple, which is far more interesting than the claim that there was 4 and 6 in 3 cells. Okay, this 3 here and that gray, per Judith, tells me that that is gray. For the 9th today, David Ratner donates $15 and the triumphant return of grkles. Thank you very much, David. And get the donation dance. Woo! Woo! Thank you, David, from both of us. Much appreciated. The 6 was a given. So we do not get to... I can actually gray the 6, though. That would be a smart thing to do. I'm pretty sure we can gray the betting tree, because I don't think grkles would have picked a bet cell that was going to work out to be crust. So probably just by setter logic, we can gray that cell, I'm going to say. Let's see. Let's see. Garion points out, if this is crust, that's crust. These are the only 1 and 9. And now we have to find a way to put 4, 5, and 6 into the row. That's very cool. Okay. So as soon as I put 1 and 9 here, now where are 4, 5, and 6 going in the row? So one of them could go here. One of them could go here, but actually none of them can go on this line anymore, because they need to be next to a 1 or a 9, and so I can only put 2 of them in the row. So that actually can't be crust. So this is not crust, and by this... Oh, I don't quite get that by the same token this can't be crust. I just get that that can't be crust. But then I count 1, 2, 3 down. And so that can't be crust for the same reason. So do I have a quintuple now? No, I don't quite. No, okay. So in this row, I actually know... No, I don't. I was going to say that I know that these are 4, 5, and 6, but that's not quite right. That these are 4, 5, 6, and a 1, 9, but that's not true, because I could put a 4 here and a 1, 9 here. Is this actually broken? If I make these 1 and 9, I can make that a 4. No, that's fine. All right. So, so let's see. So there was a claim about us always getting a crust in this column. Maybe that claim was retracted. Let's see. I wasn't claiming I could make that a 4. I was claiming I could make that a 4. I might have said the wrong digit. I definitely can't make that a 4. But this could go 4 with a 1 and 9 in those spots. Yeah, sadly, column 9 is it's a very wide array of ways to make it, I think. Let's see. But yeah, so it's either this and this, or it's that and that. Row 2, column 6, 8. Okay, so Kurban is saying, then Kurban retracts it, that this doesn't work, but it does barely, because you have 3 spots for 4, 5, and 6 in the row. Cruel and unusual, but true. So maybe I should ask where the 7 and 3 are in this column, because one of these has to be 7, 2, and the other one is 3, 8, because I need to put a 7 and a 3 in this column, and the 7 only goes with 2, and the 3 only goes with 8. Let's see. Garion says this can't be crust. Right, because I know one of these two is crust. And so Garion points out, if this was crust, both of those would be crust, and that would be 3 crusts for the box. I can't have 3 crusts in the box. So that is definitely not crust. That is a very clever observation. I feel like Garion is just incredibly good at spotting that kind of thing. Let's see. This can't be 3 or 7. Let's see if it were 3. Right, because I know that this isn't 1 or 9. So yeah, if this were 3 or 7, let's just say it's 7, what would these two cells be? Well, they'd have to be 1, 2, but they can't be, because this column has a 1, 9 pair and this row has a 1, 9 pair, or alternatively, they're just both gray. So actually, this cell is the 3, 7. This cell is always a 2, 8. So then this cell has to be something that can go with a 2, 8. That's not 3, 7. So it's got to be the other 2, 8, right? I think this has to be the other 2, 8. What else could it be? And now, and so if you have a hard time thinking about this in your head, you just think, okay, just imagine the world where this is 3, because everything's completely symmetric between the worlds. So if this is a 3, then this has to be an 8. And so now what can this be? It can't be a 3 anymore. It can't be a 1. Because we have the 1 going for the row and the column. And so it's got to be a 2. 2 is the only thing it can be. And so now this 2 leads into this cell. This can't be a 4 or a 6. It can't be a 1 or a 9. It can't be a 2, 8. So this can only be 3, 7. And it's the same 3, 7 that was over there. And now, this is the point, the 3, 7 here, so this, Josh got this, by the way. This is all Josh noticing that this can't be 3, 7, because now this 3, 7's next to something, and what can it possibly be? It can't be a 2, 8 anymore, so this is the 1, 9, and so that's the crust. And that's the crust. And these are not crust. So this is a 1, 9, and by the column, that's crust and is a 1, 9. Oops. And so we can gray the rest of the column immediately as a reward. And so now this can't be, if I look across at the things of the same parity, this can't be 1, 9 by the grayness. It can't be the 2, 8 or the 3, 7. So this is a 4, 6, and it's a 4. Exactly as Dictionary points out. So the point is we've now used the given 6 to disambiguate everything. So this is a 4, 9, 3, 8, 2, 7. That's a 1. And so we get to do a little proliferation of digits dance. That was beautiful. And also, for my taste, exactly the right amount of time to make someone think about this being able to be 3 or 7 and 2 or 8. So I think resolving it there was perfect. None of these are 1 or 9. And so now we have the same 4, 5, 6 triple. Wait. How am I fitting? Right. This cell has to be a 4 or a 6, is the point. Because 4, 5, and 6 in this column can only go here. And this cell can't be a 5, so it's a 4 or a 6, which means this is 1 or 9. So this cell's always crust, whatever it is. This cell's apparently not a 6. This cell, by the way, is a 1. And that's a 9, if I continue around. So these two cells are not crust because they see both 1 and 9. Which is like my favorite zeta deduction. I don't know why, but that just always tickles me. So 5 in row 2. Do I know that the 5... right. I know one of these two is a 5. Because that's not a 5. So one of these two is a 5. So therefore the 5 in row 2 goes there. Beautiful spot. Yeah, these are a 3, 8, we know. Right. And so now the point is, per Kurabon, now there's a 6 in one of these two cells. So if there's a 6 in one of these two cells, that's not a 6, which makes that a 4 or 5 pair looking at this, which makes that a 6 and a 1. Very nice. And so, what is this, by the way? This is a 6 and a something else. 4, 5, 7. It's a 6 and a 7, apparently. So now, 3 and 7 in this column, I believe, people are talking about. There is some talk about the 2 and the 7, but I think they mean the 3 and the 7. So 3 and 7, the reason why they're interesting in this column is because 3 only goes with 8 and 9, and 7 only goes with 1 and 2, but the 1 and 9 are gone. So actually the 3, 7 have to live there, which makes these the 2, 8. So this 2, 8 is going with something that's not a 2, 8 or a 3, 7. So this has to be a 1, 9. That's the only thing that's left for this to be. Why don't I put the crust in? Because this needs to be a length 3, and so that's not length 3. Things that are not length 3 include other things such as that's now a 9, so these are gray. So one of these two is a 9. I don't know which one yet. These are not 9 either, because they see 1 and 9 as well, Garian points out. And so now this 3 is now forced. Now this 3 is now those two only. So we can do that. This is also crust, apparently, in a twist that no one saw coming. That's a 9 and a 1 and a 9 and a 1. To make all of that happen. These are gray. This is gray because it sees 1 and 9. It didn't actually turn gray, but I hit the button. This is gray because it sees 1 and 9. This is gray. These are both gray because they see 1 and 9. I wish there could be a whole puzzle of just highlighting things that are gray because they see 1 and 9. I would be into that. Let's see. I need a 9 in this column. I guess I don't quite know what it is as of yet. Do I have all my ones? I don't quite have all the ones yet. Okay. I was thinking maybe it would just finish the 1s and 9s from there, but not quite. Let's see. This can only be a 3 or a 4 for the record, per More Crab's suggestion. Sorry, not 3 or 4. Let's try again. 3 or 4 is incorrect. This can only be a 6 or a 7, the other way. I was close. Basically correct, you might say. That gives us a 6-7 pair in the column, which now means that this cell has to be an 8 because of this 6-7 pair. That's cute. Okay, so this 6-7 pair makes this an 8. And now that being an 8... Oh, why did I not... I filled in a 9 here. Why did I not, when I did that, fill in the rest of the... Somehow I thought this 8 was what was resolving the parity of the Whisper, but I just... I was just not paying attention, apparently. So that's a 2 and an 8, and a 7 and a 3, and a 6. We won't talk about it. Never happened. So that makes a 4-5 pair, makes that a 6. Yeah, if I was coloring high and low, I probably would have seen it faster, because I would have been more excited to color it. But it so far has not seemed like this is a color high and low sort of puzzle. Let's see. These are a 3, a 4, and a 5, actually. That one's not a 3. Speaking of, let's actually pencil mark this. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, not 8. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, not 3. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, not 6. And this is 2, 3, 4. It would seem. This can't be a 4 because it would put 2 9s in the column. Just FYI. Also, this is a 7, 8, 9. It's not an 8. Oh, it's not a 7 either because 3 can't go next to 7. So actually, this is a naked single 9, which is, by the way, crust. So that's going to let us decrust a few things. So we can decrust all of this row. We can actually place the other crust here, which D9s both of these cells, actually. So now this can't be crust. So now this is crust, which makes it a 9. And we've got just a little bit of crustitude going on over here. Yes, okay. Oh, this can't be a 4 anymore, because the thing it's next to can't be a 9 anymore, for whatever that is worth. I know one of these two is a 1, but that doesn't seem to tell me. Do I have I used all of my outside clues? I hope. 3, 1, 3, 1, 6. I have used all of my outside clues. Let's see. More Crabs asked where this box where this cell goes in box 4. And so the point is 6, 7 exist in that row already. So that's 6, 7 actually goes there. Very clever. More Crabs there. Very clever setting. Very nice. Yes, I have to put this digit in this box, and the only place I can put it is exactly there, which means that's not crust, which means this is crust, which means it's a 1, which means these aren't crust. We can decrustify them appropriately. It was a very good spot. I'm not confident I would have seen that in an hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although it is always the kind of thing I really enjoy when it shows up in puzzles, but I'm not sure I would have seen it today. Can fill in all of that stuff. It was not as exciting as I had fantasized about. Let's see. Tom asked about 2 in box 4. Ah, yes, the 2 in box 4 is just placed. That's always a good thing to do. That old Sudoku stuff, as my parents are fond of saying. Let's see, 6 in box 8. Yes, there's a 6 over there. Who knew? That's a 6. Haha, so that's a 7 and an 8. Very good. So this row is missing a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not a 5 or a 4. Let's see. These digits. Oh, that's dangerous. Maybe I can avoid doing that. Yeah. 8 in box 7 per Nicholas is there. I agree. Per many folks, including Solid Void. Glad to see Solid Void still hanging around. I was going to try and place 8 in box 1, but there was going to be a problem with that. I will let you deduce what the problem was going to be. 7 in box 2. Ah, yes, 7 in box 2 is now here. So that's not the 7. So these 3 digits are a 1, a 2. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 5, 8. These are not 1. These are not 8. Dice Cup Merlin. I love the name Dice Cup Merlin, by the way. Says 8 in box 5. Let's see. 8 in box 5. Yes, 8 in box 5 now is placed there. Thank you, Merlin. Not 8 there. So let's see. This column. 2, 3, not 4, 5, not 6, 7, not 8 or 9. So this isn't 3 or 7. So that gives me a 2, 5, 7 triple, which makes that the 3 and that the 2. These aren't 2. And that's a 2, 5 pair. So that's a 7. I don't know how I missed that before, but whatever. So those aren't 7. Let's see. 3 in row 4 asks more crabs. So not there, not there. So that's a 3. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. This cell is a naked single 2. So that's not a 2. The numbers in red are a feature on the beta Sudoku pad version, where if you go to the beta version of Sudoku pad and you click on conflict checker and check pencil marks, it's the check pencil marks line that shows you the numbers in red that are repeats, Merlin. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are from 4, 5, and 7. That's a 4, 5 pair, which makes that a 2, which was the whole 2 and this thing. Now, someone pointed out wisely, I think it was Todd, that said, I need to put this in this box. So we placed this 6, 7 by knowing that this digit went here. And now I filled in this digit, and so now that means that that's a 7. Follow through. Zetas are not always the best at follow through. This seems to be a 4 or a 5. This row seems to need a 3, 4, 5, 6, and an 8. No, it has an 8 already. 3, 4, 5, 6. But these aren't 3. That's not 5. So that is 3. It's the only place for a 3 in the row, we have learned. Oh, it's already in all versions. Okay, so you don't even need the beta version, is what we are being informed by chat. Sadly, betting trees are not in all versions yet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, not 2. Okay, that is a 2, 4, 5, so that's a 6. So this is from 4, 5, 8, but it's not the 8, so that's the 8. This is a 4 or a 5. That gives me a 4, 5 pair in row 9, which makes that a 7. The Steam version should do that, I thought. The Steam version, I think, did it for Tallcat and I when we were streaming the other day. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 2, 6, and 8 go up here. So that's a 2 and an 8 and a 5 and a 4 and a 5. This is a 1. So this is a 1, which means it's going to get the privilege of purpality. So this is going to lose the privilege of purpality. This is going to lose the privilege of purpality. And this is going to be the last cell to gain purpality. So this is a 1. This is a 2. So this is not a 1 or a 4. This is not a 4. That's a 3, 6 pair, which means that's a 4. Oh, apparently this is purple, so it's a 1. Let's do the easy one first. That's a 4. This is not a 4, which gives us a... Oh, no, it does not give us a 4, 5, 6 thingy. But this seems not to be able to be 2 anymore because the column has all but 1 digit filled in. So we can fill that one in with our powers combined. Let's see. We've been trying very hard not to spoil the contents of the corner and whether or not it would get a song. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is a 4, which makes that a 5 and a 7 and a 5 and a 4 and a 5 and a 4. 2, that gives a 3 and a 6 and a 3 and a 4 and a 6 and a 5 and a 5 and a 4 and a 5 and a 4. And now that's 3 in the corner, as Simon would say. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Anyway, so yeah, we got the whole 3 and everything up there. Very nice puzzle. I enjoyed that a lot. That was very nice. So yeah, a 3 tree in the corner. Yeah, we had that rather awkward moment where I could not reveal the bet cell, so I had to use that I knew the bet cell was a 3 in order to disambiguate one of the cells down here, but no one complained. But yeah, it was a little bit from the end that I happened to notice that 3 in this box is actually placed here. I guess you can sing That's Tree in the Corner. Very nice puzzle, and a lot of really neat steps in there. I like that. I like this. I mean, I guess this whole sandwich length thing wouldn't necessarily work with many constraints, but it worked super well with whispers. I bet you could make the bet, or I bet you could make this sandwich length thing work with Renbon if you wanted. That would work as well, probably. But I'm intrigued by this length. I guess maybe what would be cool is to have like circles where you had to fill in the length of the sandwich in the middle of the grid. So like circles give the sandwich length for the column, and squares give the sandwich length for the row or something. We're slowly turning this into an Andrew Sarkis puzzle, but it sounds fun. You could do it with arrows or whatever. Yeah, it was very interesting to play with. Oh yeah, Garion points out entropic lines. Yeah, and anything that works with whispers probably also works with entropic lines. How many entropic lines are in the puzzle or in the book, grkles? I know you said you put a double arrow in there just to guarantee that I would get it. Oh, hey Russ, did you have a Reuben for dinner? All right, well, I'm going to go dig us up a medium puzzle, and then we'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back. Oh, I realize I have to move the grid. Sorry. Gotta move it slightly back up. Okay, so downside, it's not necessarily going to be a super quick puzzle, but upside, it's a 2-10th doubler puzzle. So I am all about a 2-10th doubler puzzle. So these are region sum lines. Oh, yes, we can put back the row column labels. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. The hard part for me is always looking at a list of options and finding the thing I'm looking for. It isn't my brain does not do good at that. Okay. But we found it. Okay. So we've got two things going on here. So we have region sum lines. So the sum of the digits across a blue line is the same in each box it cuts through, which I realize I did not say very smartly. So the green digits, the blue digits, and the yellow digits all have the same sum. That's what this says. And the same is true for every blue line, but the sum might vary from blue line to blue line. Not every blue line has the same sum. But our added twist is that in every row, column, and box, there is a doubler. And whatever cell it is that is the doubler actually counts double towards its sum. For example, if this was a 2, it would actually count as a 4 towards the sum if it were doubled. Okay. And the doublers act as an extra region, so meaning that the doublers consist of each digit 1 through 9 exactly once. Okay. So I want to start by thinking about these two cells is actually a very clever place to start. So where... Oh, I need a betting tree, by the way. Do you have a recommended betting tree, Eric, while I contemplate about these two things? So first of all, I originally thought, oh wait, this could sum to more than 9 because one of these could be a doubler. But it can't sum to more than 9 because these can't both be doublers or they would be the same doubler. Like that. Can that be the betting tree? And so, in fact, actually, this does sum to at most 9. But it can't sum to 9 either, because if it summed to 9, these would both be 9. Oh, that's box 5. I did not do box 5. I did not count to box 6 very well. How about that in box 6? We'll do that. Box 6. They don't have labels for the boxes. So, these can't both be 9, because then where is 9 going in this box? Well, 9 is now going on the line, and now the line doesn't sum to 9. And they can't both be double 9, because I can only double 9 once. And so exactly one of these is doubled. And so the one that's doubled, so exactly one of these is doubled, which means the sum of the line is even. This is a sum of 3 cells, and so that means its sum has to be at least 6. So the sum is 6 or 8. And therefore the digit that's doubled to get there is 3 or 4. And in particular, we have the hardest earned 1 pencil mark ever in one of these things, where because now this line can't sum to 9, I know there has to be a 1 on it, because if I have 3 cells that sum to 8 or less, they must include a 1. Okay, and we can do exactly the same trick with this one. So these are from 3, 4, 6, 8. There's a 1 on here, and we can actually gray out a lot of things. So any cell that sees both of these, because I know one of these is a doubler, any cell that sees both of them can't be a doubler. So these can't be a doubler, and those can't be a doubler. And then any cell that sees either of these, already. Okay, so already this can't be the doubler because it sees both of those. So this is the one that is the doubler, and we get a doubler. So therefore, and so we're going to do lots of graying and then updating of candidates. These can't be doublers, and so therefore this is a doubler, because remember I knew one of these was a doubler. And so therefore none of this stuff is doubled. Oh, I missed the column. None of that stuff is doubled. So the doubler digits, remember, were 3, 4. And so these are not 3, 4. They are 6, 8. And so I actually know that this is really a 6, 8 pair, either because they're in a box or whatever. And I know that this is really a 3, 4 pair. And so I get all of that as my fun time. Activity. Yeah, this has been a very cool opening so far. Let's see. So, okay. So now I think the point is 6 and 8 are high digits that are gone from this line, but the sum of this line has to be huge, because this line needs to sum to at least 15 at the very, very least. And so if I can't use 6 or 8, oh no, 9 and 7 is already enough, isn't it? Darn it. I need to push this up more in order for that to be useful. I need a little bit more. Check the 1 in box 1. Oh! I saw or I looked at this before, but somehow I didn't see it. Where does the 1 go in box 1? It has to go on the line. And so now that's still not quite going to do it, but it's going to get us a lot closer. Because Friday streams are usually 4 hours, but I started an hour late today, so it's going to be about however long it takes me to finish this puzzle. It's going to be about that many more hours. Let's see. Russ says, since neither row 3, column 5, nor 6... okay. Russ's point is neither of these is a doubler. So the sum of these digits can't be higher than 17. Because these could be at most 8, 9, and they would be an honest 8, 9. So these sum to at least 15 and at most 17. But because they sum to at least 15, that means these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. I should fill that in as well. And now these summing to at least 17, that's 2 degrees of freedom. So the way I think about it is that means this needs a 1, 2, and 3. Each degree of freedom lets you unfreeze one thing from the minimum. So the minimum is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 2 degrees of freedom, so 1, 2, and 3 have to be on this thing. Let's see. Is it possible, I should ask myself, is it possible there's a doubler on this? Because there's certainly not if it's a 6. If it's an 8, what am I doubling? If I double the 1, Could do double 1, 2, 4. Yeah, double 1, 2, 4 works, unfortunately. Okay. The lines in box 2 and 4 share a 2 or a 3. Is that always true if there's a doubler? So could I double 2? 1, double 2, and 3 also works. Lord. So yeah, the possibility of a doubler on this line is mind-bending. I will confess to me. So one of these is a 1. Oh, but this could be a doubler cell, or that could be a doubler cell. Oh, but this cell can't be doubled for a cute reason. This cell being doubled would put a doubler on both of these, and one of these is a 6. And the 6 can't have a doubler on it. So that's definitely not a doubler. So this cell really wants to be a doubler, but it doesn't have to be necessarily, I don't think. If this were like 179, for example, that would get us there. Okay. Okay. Derek's point is I even with everything being said about doublers, I still need a 2 or a 3. And right, if I use a doubler but not a 2 or a 3, then I'm still summing to at least 11. So there's always a 2 or a 3 on both of these. Sorry, one of these lines has a 2 and a 3. The other has a 2 or a 3. But that whichever digit it is that they have in common, where does it go in this box? It joins the 1. That's awesome. Right. So there's two worlds. Either these both have a 2 or these both have a 3. And that digit gets dumped into this other cell. Okay. And so now the maximum these two can sum to is 4. So this needs to be doubled in order to have any prayer of succeeding in life. And so now what's the minimum digit I could double? Because the maximum of these is 4, and the minimum of this is 15. So this needs to double to at least 11. So 5 is not big enough. And so this has to be a 7 or a 9 doubled. But 9 doubled is too big. Because 9, that's awesome. 9 doubled would be 18, and the maximum this can be is 17. So this has to be a 7, and we get to do our little 7 dance. Wow! Woohoo! 7 dance. And now, this has to be a double 7 with a 1-2 pair. Or with 2 3s. Take your pick. But now that is 17. And so that being 17, wow, this is awesome. That being 17 now means this has to add to 17, so it has to be 8 9. And that 8 9 now fixes this. And so now this is a 1 2 3 for sure. And now this one, there's a little bit more mystery because it's either 1 2 5 or 1 3 4. It's very cool. I like this a lot. Ah, but I know which it is because I know where the 3 is in this box. Oh, by the way, I should fill that in. I was totally going to forget that forever. The 3 in this box is actually, I know where the 3 in the box is. It's exactly there, which means this isn't 1 3 4. It's 1 2 5 as its final digit. And so the 5 in this box goes in this column for whatever that is worth. Let's see. So these digits, let's just fill them in. I need a 3. Oh, I need a 4 in the row. The 4 in the row has to go there because it can't go over here. And so now this is just a triple. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's too many digits. Oh, there's already a 3 in the row. That was the point. There's already a 3 in the row. Yes, not a 3. Thank you for the red for telling me there's not a 3. Okay, and so these are a 5 and a what? I should know the other thing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 5 and a 9 is actually the answer. And so these 3 digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 4, 6, and 8. To be that. This puzzle is very good. I know that there's a 1 or 2 over here. Oh, there's an 8-9 pair. Thank you. The 8-9 pair, Jim points out, looks at this and sorts out the 5 and the 9. Thank you, Jim. So that's cool. And so I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do with any of these lines. So this sums to 17, which is like the most annoying thing it could sum to because there's the most options. I know there's a 5 up here. Let's see. At first, I thought you were talking about like a set dinner, like as in set the Sudoku technique, and I was confused. But then I understood in time. So there's a 4 and an 8 over here just by Sudoku. Let's start doing the Sudoku things. There's a 4 and an 8 over here. Let's see. There's a 6 over here. While I'm looking at things, although I don't see how that's going to help. One Scrabble bag full of vegetables. I love it. Let's see. And I could double something. Not only is it annoying that I have to contemplate ways to make 17 and 5, I have to contemplate ways to make 17 and 5 with a doubler. So I think that's not going to be helpful for a bit. Because I could definitely use a double 1 or a double 2 involved in my 17. So yeah, what am I doing with my life now? Is always the question. These have to sum to more than 3, but that is not an incredibly restrictive thing. Okay, so Josh asks if both 4 and 8 can be here. Wow. Oh, but what if one of them is doubled? Okay, so if there's no doubler here and these are 4 and 8, then the thing that happens is now this is now these two need to sum to 12, but this one can only be a 4, 6, or 8, which would require that to be a 4, 8, or a 6, 6, none of which works. But what if I double? I can't double the 4. What if I double the 8? Well, if I double the 8 and add 4, then I get to too many. So I cannot put both the 4 and the 8 there. I agree. So I always need to put a 4 or 8 up there. That is a ridiculous spot, but very cool. So let's see. Oh, we're pencil marking this. That would have been the easier thing to do. I don't know why I did not do that. We pencil marked a whole bunch of less easy things. Why don't we pencil mark this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is only 3 or 7. So if there's a doubler on this line, I'm doubling at least a 6. And if I double at least a 6, then I will make the total here at least 16, which is impossible. That's very cool. I really like that. So I can't, if I double a digit that I'm actually allowed to double, I have already broken the total. So these can't be doublers, and therefore this is a doubler. And what is it that's doubled? As is pointed out by Jay, it has to be a 6, because I've already doubled 3, 4, and 7. And so now the question is, which is this? And I could probably figure it out. Maybe not. But I thought so. Let's see. Well, I know the 4 is up here. Let's start with that, because it's a 3 or a 7 that's down here. So is it possible to make 11? Let's see. If I try to make 11 over here, I can't do 5, 6. I can't do 3, 8. I can't do 4, 7 again, and I can't do 2, 9. So I think I can't actually do 11. I think this has to be a 3, 4. And so that makes that a 7. And this being a 3, 4 makes this either, well, it's not a 1, 6, so this has to be a 2, 5, which then sorts out the 1 and the 2. And so now this digit is just known. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7. Okay, these two digits are a pair. One of them is a 1, and the other is a 3. These are a 1, 3 pair. So it doesn't immediately tell me anything, but I'm guessing now maybe I can do something with this 8, 4, 2 business. So now there's definitely a 1 on this line. Let's start with that, because just by Sudoku, 1 is pushed down here. So this is minimum. Okay, so yeah, so this is minimum 1, 5, but it can't be 1, 5 because 1, 5 would total 6, and this can be neither a 6 nor a doubled 3. So this can't be 1, 5. Could this be 1, 6? It cannot, because that would be 7. Can this be 1, 7? Yes, that would make this an 8. So one option here is 1, 7, and 8. It can't be a doubled 4 because we've already doubled 4. And the other option, it can't be a 1, 8, and 9 either because there's an 8. So it is 1, 7, 8. So it's exactly 1, 7, 8. That's the only option. And so the 8 is not doubled because that would be 16. Also, if I'd have listened to Tom, I could have grayed this out. Oh, wait. Oh, no, it can't be 1, 9. I did miss 1, 9 with double 5, except that there was a 6 in the column already. So I should have just listened to Tom and just started with, there's a 6 in the column, so this cell's not doubled. And then it would have made life much easier for me if I had embarked on the puzzle in that fashion. But we here at Zeta Studios rarely do things the easy way. So what are these digits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 9. And so therefore these digits are from 4, 8, and something else. 2, 3, 4, and no, not 5, 6, 7, 7. And there's definitely a 7 on this line. And I can fill in this triple as well while I'm at it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 7, 8, 9, 2, 5, 9. Okay. So because there's definitely a 7 on this line now, this is either summing to 11, or it's summing to 15, or there could be a doubler. I guess I should check if there could be a doubler. Let's see. Kurban says I can't have a doubler here. If I doubled something here, it would be at least a double 8. Yeah, I cannot double something here. Because if I doubled 8, I would get to 16. I can't double 4 or 7. And if I doubled 8, I would be at 16 plus 4. That's 20. I can't do that. So these are not doubled. So this is doubled. And as soon as it's doubled, I know that it's an 8. So these aren't 8. So 4, 7 there. Sums to 11, and so I need these to sum to 11 in some fashion. It's not 4, 7. It could be 6, 5. It's not 8, 3, though, so it is 6, 5, which is 4 and 8. 0 and 5. Alrighty, so we've got more fun with doublers. Okay, do I want to... Oh, I want to gray row 4. That is a good point. I want to gray row 4. Like I did not do with column 4. Now what are we doing? Now I'm noticing that there's an 8 over here. And that tells me that this cell has to be doubled, because if not, this would sum to at least 11, and that's a problem. So this cell is doubled. These cells are all not doubled. These are not doubled. And so this number needs to be at least a 6, but it's not 6, 7, or 8. So this has to be the doubler 9, which resolves the 8 and the 9. So there's an 8 over here and 2 digits that sum to 11. Those digits can't be 5, 6 or 2, 9. And they can't be 3, 8 either. So they have to be 4, 7. So this is 8, 4, 7, I believe. Wait, I did it wrong. Sorry. People are telling me I did math wrong. So this sums to 18 minus 8. Oh, 18 minus 8 is not 11. 18 minus 8 is 10. So I need 2 digits that sum to 10. The 2 digits that sum to 10, though, are not 1, 9, 2, 8, or 4, 6. So they are 3, 7. So it is 8, 3, 7 that I will get as my digits here, which resolves the 1 and the 7. Always with the off by 1 errors. What digits do I still need to double? I still need to double a 1, a 2, let's see, 3, 4, and a 5. A 1, a 2, and a 5, I believe. So interestingly, if I learn that I need to, that if the 5 is doubled somewhere else, then I know that I need a doubled 1 or 2, and it needs to go exactly there. I bet that's going to be the finish of the puzzle. What are these 2 digits? These are 3. These are a 4 and a 5, right? I think there are 4 and a 5. And the 3 actually is pushed in this row back over to here. So there's a 3 on this line for sure. There's a 5 over down here, which is suspicious, because I do still need to double a 5. Let's see. I am being told that there is a Jovi wing on 3s, right? The 3 in column 5 and 6 are claimed by these, so there's no 3 in one of those cells. So there's definitely a 3 in one of these. So 3, we know where it's doubled. 3 is not doubled here, it's not doubled here, and 3 is not doubled here, so 3 is doubled in this box, fascinatingly enough. So this is the location of the 3 doubler. And so, no, we've already doubled 3, don't listen to me. 3 was doubled at the very beginning. There's already a doubled 3. We don't need another one. It would be fun to have another one, but we can't. We can't do parity on the region 9 line, I do not believe. Because there could or could not be a doubler. We don't know. We'd need to know the parity of that digit, and then we could learn whether there was an odd double digit or whatever. 8 and 9 in box 5. So no 8 and 9 there. No 9 there. Okay, so I certainly remember this line sums to at most... this line sums to exactly 17. It cannot have an 8 or a 9 on it. And so the 9, therefore, by Sudoku goes there. And now the 8 goes there. Got it. So that's not doubled. So this is doubled. And so since it's doubled, it's a 1 or a 2. I can't put a double 5 on a line that's summing to 17 in 5 cells. Thank you, Carl. That was a good spot. it's interesting that 1, 2, and 5 are exactly the digits that are there. Yes, so no doubler for you, Tree. I am sorry if you wanted to be a doubler when you grew up. Someone was saying earlier that their father always wanted them to be a doubler or something like that. Okay, so if I have a doubled 1 or a doubled 2, that means now I'm summing to at most 16. So now there's not a 7 on this line either. So the 7 in this box is actually vertical, which means that the 7 in this box is placed here exactly. And so there's a 7 over there, I guess. That's not super exciting. Let's pencil mark the rest of this box. That seems like a good idea. So we need a 1, a 2, a 3, 4, 5, and a 6. Let's just do the gimmies. So we've got those. Okay. I know there's a 3 on here. There's no way there's also a 1. If there were also a 1... 1 and 3 would sum to 4. There's no way I'm making this work in any universe. If I make this 2 and 3, there's no way I'm making this work in any universe. Because 2 and 3 sum to 5. Oh no, 2 and 3 sum to 5 I could do... No, I can't do a double 1. Right, 2 and 3 doesn't work. Even with a doubler, I can't make 2 and 3 work. Because I would need these two to sum to 5. They can't be 1 and 4, and they could be, and they can't be double 2 and 1 or double 1 and 3. Neither would work. So this cannot involve a 2 either. So this is a 3-6 pair. That's a 1-2 pair. So these sum to 9. And so now I need to look at ways to make 9. And I'm going to guess that what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to make 9 without using a doubler. Because I can't do 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, or 4, 5. So I need a doubler on my 9 line, which is very cool. So I get my last doubler up here. This is going to be a 1, 2, or a 5. It is not a 5. So it is a 1 or a 2. And so that is the doubler 5, which now means that this is summing to at least 10. Sorry, at least 11, let's say. And so this is summing to at least 11. So now this can't be a 6 anymore. Let's see. If this is a 1... No, this can't be a 1 anymore either, because this would be 1 plus 9. So this has to be a 3 and a 1. And now 3 and 8 would make 11, so this would be a 1. Or 3 and 9 would make 12, so this would be a 2. So this cell's always a 1 or a 2. In particular, that has made this cell the 8. This cell's no longer able to be a 1. I also know it couldn't have been a 1 before, because you could have just said this had to be a double 2 and a 5, because it couldn't be a double 1 and a 7. Whatever. That is a 1 over there. We're going to know what that combination is, but let's fill in this this quint first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see, that's not a 1, that's not a 4 or a 9, or a 6 actually, because of the 3-6 pair, that just is the 1. This is not a 1 or a 4, that's not a 1. This 2, 5 has gotten sorted out. This has become a 2. That being a 2 means the sum is 12, which makes that a 9. That's a 6 and an 8. It's not a 6, that's not a 9. Let's see. We have done a lot of damage Sudoku-logically to this box. So these aren't 1 or 2 anymore, apparently. Wait. Oh, yeah, because there's a 1 in the box already. Got it. Okay. So the 1 is really a 2. And so now when I'm summing to 17, I really need 4 digits that aren't 1 that sum to 15 And so those digits have to be, let's just fill them in. Those digits have to be 2, 3, 4, 6. That's the only way I'm going to make 17, I believe. Because 2, 3, 4, 5 would make the sum to 16. So it has to be 2, 3, 4, 6. And so this is not 2 or 6. This is not 6. That's not 2. Thinking about outies and doubler puzzles always hurts my brain. It's in the range of things I will do, but it is such an easy thing to make mistakes with. So what are these? These are 5 and 7. I was hoping one of those would just turn red and my life would be complete, but not quite. So now I've got a 1, 2 pair, so that's not a 2 at the very least. So we've got a 3, 4, 6 triple in the column. So the 3, 4, 6 triple in the column means that's not a 4, it's a 5 and a 4, and a 2 and a 1 and a 5. And so that is a 3 and a 2. And so now that's a 1 and a 3 and a 2. This seems to be a 1 now. I agree with Ranks that Sven makes a lot of good points. Let's see. This is not a 3 or a 2. This is not a 3 anymore. Those are a 4, 6 pair now, apparently. Who knew? These are like very nearly a 4, 5, 6, 7 triple, but not quite. Let's see. So we're really just in cleanup mode now, I suppose. So let's see. What is the easiest way to clean this up that does not involve figuring out what the bet cell is? Because I see from the value of the bet cell that this is a 9. I guess I should just phrase it as, where is 9 in column 9? That's the easiest way to do it. So where's 9 in column 9? It's there. So that's a 6 and a 4. So that's enough for me to feel good about doing this. Yes, the there is a new tier of supporter where you get to learn what the value of the bet cell is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I can't put a 10 in this puzzle. No 3, 8, no 3, 8. So that's a 6, 7 pair. So that makes that a 3 and a 7. This is not a 6 or a 7 or a 3, so it's an 8. So these digits are now a 1, 2. Okay, so that is a 1. 2, 3. We need a 3, which has to go there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a 9, which has to go there. So there is no 9 over there. So now the 4 in the row goes there. So that's a 4 and a 6 and a 9 and a 7 and a 6 and a 5 and a 6 and a 4 and a 7 and a 5 and 7 and a 3 and a 4. And the 3 looks down at the 6 and the 3. And then the bet cell turns out to be a 4. Congratulations to anyone who bet 4. Wonderful, wonderful puzzle. I really enjoyed that. There were so many awesome moments. It was so carefully constructed with everything there. This puzzle felt meticulous in the best way. Yes, Ranks accidentally thought the the doubler cell was 1 below where it was. You should be very proud of this one. This is amazing. I bet this one finds its way to many of the Sudoku content created peoples. It's a doubler tree, which doubles the value of the bet. That's possible. Yes, this was a fantastic puzzle. All right. Now I need something really fast to wrap up. Does anyone have anything they want to send me over on Discord that I could do in 15 minutes that is laying around? Yes, a very well-deserved 100%. Isabella has one. Okay, Isabella. I know you've been making a lot of 6x6s. Which one do you want me to do? Just ping it to me over on Discord, and I will do it. Let's see. Also, I worry from the thumbnail of this this stream that Zach may be outgrowing me a bit. At least I'm still in the thumbnail. Let's see. Okay, there we go. There is the Isabella puzzle. Okay, so here is the Isabella puzzle that we're going to do to wrap up stream with. So we have normal Sudoku rules apply. Entropic lines. Okay, so every string of 3 digits along an entropic line have to contain a high digit, a middle digit, and a low digit. But in this instance, high, medium, and low are 6x6 appropriate. So a 1 or a 2, a 3 or a 4, and a 5 or a 6. And then the white dots are consecutive, and the black dots have a ratio of 1 to 2. Okay, so the first observation to make in any entropic lines puzzle, really, is that because of the every 3 consecutive ones contain one of each, well, these 3 contain one of each, so these 3 also do, and so actually you get a repeating string of 3 colors all the way along, which I quite enjoy as a deduction. 2, 3. So we've got that, and so this, whatever it is, let's make it purple. And so 1, 2, 3, that's purple. 1, 2, 3, that's purple. 1, 2, there we go. And so then this one and this one, let's make those green. And so as Eric is pointing out in the chat, /Twototenth, these digits are different high, mid, low at ease. And so that means these either have to be 2, 3, or 4, 5, which is a lot of options. I missed one. Did I count wrong? Oh, no, I just missed greening it. Got it. Okay. And then these 2 are green because of the box. The box still needs 2 greens. This box still needs 2 purples. This one can't be a 5 because it's on a black dot. Fun fact. So that can't be a 5. So this is a 2, 3, or a 4. Which is good to know. Let's see, if this were a 4, this would be a 3. Not quite understanding the same coloring can be done comment. Well, I can do the same thing, except I don't know what the colors are, right? I don't know how it matches up with yellow, purple, and green, I don't think. Yeah, so it can't be 3 and 4. It has to be 2 and 3, or 4 and 5. Ah, right. So the point is, I understand now. So the point is, this one can't be 4, because that one would need to be 5. The entropy would be wrong otherwise. Got it. Thank you, Turganis. You said that in the way I needed to hear it to make sense of my life. So I guess what we can say is that by symmetry, these are from 2, 3, 4. Ah, got it. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is what I should do. the lines are symmetric, so I can ignore the coloring for a moment. But what I can say is I know that the exact same conclusion will be true. But once I know that's true, I actually know that these can't be 3 because 3, 3 is not a valid ratio of 2. So these are 2, 4, and these are 3, 5. And 2 and 4 are different. Okay, so boy, I'm trying to think now how this color business works. So this needs to be different. But is it the same as that? So if this is a 2, that's a 3. This is a 5. This is the third color. If this is a 4, that's a 5. And this is a 3, and that's the same color as that. So that doesn't quite work. Right. But this box has both of its odds gone. So this needs a 1. Got it. Brilliant. Okay. Very nice. So every white dot needs an odd and an even, but both odds from this box are gone, other than 1. So this has to be a 1, 2, which then gets us a 4 over there. And then we get to do our little 4 dance. Boop-boop-a-doop. 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 Boo! Thank you, Zach. So that will be a 2. 4, remember, doesn't go next to 3. It goes next to 5. So green is high, purple is medium, and yellow is low. This is a 3, so it's medium, and it's purple. And so I can color my purples along here in those 2 cells. And so then I can color, this is a green, because a green is needed. Yes, the way that resolved was very cool. I'm a very big fan of this this setup. 1, 2, 3, and that one's green. Wait, I did not color this right. Something went wrong. Abort, abort. I colored my purple in the wrong place is the problem. There we go. Okay, so that's purple, that's green. That sounds better. So this is now green. 1, 2, 3, that's now green. 1, 2, 3, that's now green. So it had better be that that one's purple, and these 2 are yellow, I believe. Okay. And so these 2 are purple, and these 2 are yellow. And so we can go ahead and click all the yellows. All the yellows are 1 or 2. Click all the purples. Those are all 3 or 4. Click all the greens. Those are all 5 or 6. And now we can let Sven do the puzzle for us. Because now that is a 6, and a 5, and a 6, and a 3 and a 4, and a 4 and a 3, and a 3 and a 4, and a 4 and a 3, and a 1 and a 2, and a 1, and a 1 and a 2, and a 1 and a 2, and a 2, and a 6 and a 5, and a 5 and a 6, and a 5. And now we have to try and dream up a way to color this. But the key to finishing the coloring in order to actually complete the puzzle is that these we know are low. And so that's both yellows. But this cell, this cell sees both yellows. So when I look at where the other yellow is in box 4, it's not in one of those cells and it's not there. So this has to be that missing yellow of unknown origin. And so this cell has to be green. But now the row is only missing a purple, so that's the purple. Now the column is only missing a green, so that's a green. This column is only missing a green, so that's a green. This column's only missing a purple. And so now we go back and we relabel that these are 3 and 4, these are 5 and 6, and these are 1 and 2. And now hopefully we know enough that we can go back and do 2 and 1. and 6 and 5 and 6 and 1 and 3 and 4. And there we go. Directionary suggests that Sven is going to have a button that says the rest is hidden in naked singles. Do you want to skip to the finished board? I could imagine that. Actually, what I think is going to happen is that in about 3 months, Sven is going to say, okay, well, you've gotten used to using the red candidates feature, and now that is going to be a premium Sudoku pad feature that you will have to pay $20 a month if you want to access. Yeah, Merlin, I'm somewhat mixed about the red things. I think if it were me, I would probably opt not to use them. But chat has been very positive on the marks, because we can do a few more puzzles with the time, and we don't spend a lot of time scanning. $50 a month for colors. Yes. I that's probably going to happen. It's going to be, we're going to only have 9 shades of gray unless you upgrade to pay for the color pack. Maybe there'll be like loot boxes where you can unlock new colors with your loot boxes. I bet that's probably going to happen. So we'll get there. Yeah, maybe like the loot boxes can also have things like pencil mark checking on 2s, like for a specific digit. Anyway, very cool puzzle. I liked that a lot. The punchline about these both being odd was brilliant. And yes, I agree with Ranks, by the way, that I find it incredibly disorienting when pencil marks are auto-removed. So I stopped using that feature most of the time, because it makes it hard to follow the flow. Chameleon suggests that when the CTC channel gets 1 million subs, colors will be available for free for 1 month. Maybe what they'll do is they'll do the like League of Legends thing where like each month 2 colors will be free, and then but it'll be different 2 colors each month. I like the red candidates as a compromise. I think the red candidates is very cool. And yeah, that was a very fun puzzle. I enjoyed that. I'm not saying I necessarily love the red candidates, but I think the red candidates was a very clever user interface design choice. And I think the awesome thing about Sudoku Pad is that it's clear that Sven is passionate about user interface and user experience design. And that really shows through, and the careful choices that are being made are very cool, and a lot of neat stuff is getting added. I should just do the string of Isabella's equal sum line 6x6s at some point. I'll put that in the bucket for a future stream, or maybe I'll do it again, and when I need 15 minutes at the end of a stream, I'll do one of your equal sum lines puzzles, because I love equal sum lines puzzles and I love 6x6s, so. It cannot be, it seems like an awesome way to finish things up. But seriously, the making these 2 odds so you knew what this white dot was brilliant. I really was very impressed by that. Alrighty, but that's going to be the stream for today. Sorry about having a slightly shorter stream, but it was only an hour shorter, and we'll be back on Sunday. So if you want more stream, I promise there will be more stream soon. Yes, Ken points out that, on the CTC app where it does the auto-delete thing, you have problems if you accidentally type something and then it removes stuff, and then it was wrong to remove the stuff, and then, oh boy, it's a mess. Okay, the next tutorial, I'm doing a Renbon tutorial, in the near future. It might be Wednesday. We might get to the Renbon tutorial. that seems very possible. I've just been putting off doing it for a little bit while I get into teaching. Crashing into planets is probably going to have to wait a bit because I have been busy with teaching and running my Factorio factory a bit. It'll probably be a little chunk. Maybe we'll crash into planets when I'm on break next, because I do want to finish crashing into planets. But we will do that. I have considered like streaming some of the other games I play, but I think most of the other games I would stream would be agonizingly boring to watch. Like, I cannot imagine people watching me play Factorio. Maybe if I get back into drafting, because the current Magic the Gathering set is really cool, and I have considered drafting that. Maybe I would draft that on stream at some point. But next tutorial, S cells. Oh yeah, there we go. That will be a thing. I don't know. I feel like S cells are something that will make a comeback in like 5 years, and they'll come back as retro when Shy sets a new puzzle that uses S cells in the way that Shy set a new puzzle that used 159 and brought back this old constraint, and suddenly they were all over. I mean, I love a lot of the Factorio Let's Players. Like, Zisto is one of my favorite streamers. Or sorry, not one of my favorite streamers. One of my favorite YouTube content people. But Zisto compresses like 30 to 50 hours of Factorio play into one 30-minute video. And likewise, Michael Hendricks, is that his name? There's another Factorio streamer that puts really tightly edited Death World videos up that I really enjoy watching. But the only YouTuber that plays Factorio that I really like that posts unedited ones is Catherine of Sky. I like her things as well. So anyway, you now have a name of a bunch of Factorio YouTube creators. If you've always wanted to watch people play modded Factorio, there are a number of people who play modded Factorio. Sorry, I guess Michael Hendricks plays unmodded Factorio, but anyway. But I've been playing the Factorio mod C block, if you're curious, where you start on a little 1x1 square and slowly build more land around you until you have a giant factory. And you have to make everything by straining seawater for it because there are no mines or anything like that. So it is delightful. And if you've enjoyed Factorio in the past, and you have the sort of slight masochistic streak that would make someone want to solve complicated Sudoku puzzles, I'd really recommend Factorio C block as a mod that you can play. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream here for today. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for the super chat, David. And a thank you to all of our supporters, and especially those of you who support us at the highest level, the turbine level. So our turbines are David Ratner, Michael O'Connor, Nordy, Franco, and Woofer. Thank you very much to all of them and all of you. Thank you for being with me, and I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.